Hey travelers, Mag and I here on day 96 of our trip around the United States. Amazingly, we made it to Bison last night, which was the end point for our day. It wasn't really that we were trying, it's more that there just really wasn't a good place for us to stop. It was windy, rainy, and pitch black out there, and everything we saw was private property all the way up until we got here. The folks at the Bison Ag Company were nice enough to let us crash near the gas station for the night, and we are ready to hit the road again this morning. We're kicking things off here at the Bison Veterans Memorial right behind me with the two eagles facing inboard. From here, we have another 400-mile day making our way east across the very northern part of South Dakota. It's another day with long stretches and very few geocaches along the way. But our big goal for the day is to visit Sitting Bull's grave. I know, you're asking yourself right now, didn't we visit Sitting Bull's grave yesterday? And yes, we did. And there's a very interesting history to that we're gonna get to once we get to his grave. So stay tuned, because we've got a great first day of South Dakota lined up. Come on, let's go. A large metallic piece of equipment with a geocache on it. Are we gonna go find it? Listing says it's a regular. Let's do it.
Oh, look at that. Would you look at that? All right, yeah. Oh yeah, getting the morning started off right. Oh yes, this is what I'm talking about. A lock and lock, and then a 50 caliber ammo can.
A 50 caliber ammo can like this definitely deserves more swag than that. Let's load her up. Looking much, much better now. Rumor has it, a rumor that I'm willing to believe, by the way, that this is the furthest spot you can get from the McDonald's, lower United 48 States. Having been out here and driven these roads between last night and today, it's a long way to anything, McDonald's included.
A freshly maintained logbook and empty. Nothing else in here. They do lay claim that they're the farthest spot from McDonald's in the USA. Let's go ahead and amend this problem with the swag, shall we? Cool little bag, koozie we can stuff in there with it. And of course, good geocache always needs some toys to play with. So what do we got going on? Go. And there we go, locked and loaded.
From there, it is a long drive out to Dupree, the county seat of Ziebach, which, if you're working on the county challenge for the state of South Dakota, you will be visiting as well, because there is exactly one geocache, and that is it. Like the rest of South Dakota we've seen so far, though, there's a lot of variety on the drive, so you can enjoy rolling green hills and farmlands the whole way.
This is exactly the kind of geocache I'd pull up on, I'd give a quick once over. Didn't find the cache, I'm out of here, moving on to the next target. Unfortunately, this is quite literally the only geocache in this county. So it's either find this one or don't complete the county. So we enjoyed a nice little hunt through this rock garden, and it's in there somewhere. And it took a long time, but eventually we came up victorious. It's funny to think about driving all the way out here just to go hunt for a little pill bottle in the rocks. Geocachers are some pretty weird people, aren't they? And if you are planning on taking on the county challenge in the foreseeable future, you can look forward to an entertaining rock hunt here too.
From Ziebach's county seat, we hopped over to Dewey County in Timber Lake. Once again, we found ourselves with limited geocaching options, but definitely enjoyed one that we knew we'd find easily. This spot also afforded us the opportunity to take a little tiny look back in history and a chance to peruse the many options in the local bookmobile. If you ask me though, this selection looks a bit sketchy. We often say that the journey is the destination, and that's no truer than a day like today traveling through the northern part of South Dakota. Come along and enjoy a drive with us through the Great Plains, viewing rolling hills, plains, ravines, and steep flat-top buttes. Every hilltop and every bend offers a new perspective on the landscape unfolding before you. Of course, you've got to stop and check out the sights along the way. And for a cattle herder like Aichan, there's no better sight than this. Staring out at the many fields filled with cows was definitely her favorite activity today. And after many hours spent rolling through the green hillsides and country, we finally made it to the crossing of the Missouri River. Whew, that was a long way. Good thing the Forest City Recreation Area provides a great spot to stretch our legs and get a view of the Missouri River Bridge that we'll be crossing next. Now hold on tight, because this was only the halfway of our long drive up to Mobridge. That was a long drive. So we were ecstatic to finally reach Mobridge, the first real city we've seen all day long. With a population of around 3,000, Mobridge is one of the better places to live in South Dakota. It was founded by European Americans in 1906 and was named for its railroad designation of the Missouri Bridge. And this is where our interesting story of the grave of Sitting Bull originates. Sitting Bull was born in the early 1830s along the Grand River at a place the Lakota called Many Caches. That's right, Many Caches. He was a greatly respected leader who led his people during years of resistance against United States government policies. At the Battle of Little Bighorn, he led his people to a great victory against the 7th Cavalry under Colonel Custer, fulfilling a vision that he'd had previously. It took the U.S. government sending many thousands of troops over many years to force the Lakota people to begin surrendering. However, Sitting Bull refused to surrender and spent years in the Northern Territories leading his people. After he was shot and killed, his body was buried in Fort Yates. His descendants claim that they drove to Fort Yates on April 8, 1953 and stole his remains by digging up the grave with a backhoe. Although Fort Yates isn't quite willing to claim that this happened, they do have on their memorial a line that reads, "He was laid to rest here and may have been disinterred in 1953 at the request of his 4 grandchildren." While we may never know the true burial location of his remains, there is one thing we do know. Sitting Bull was greatly respected by everyone in North Dakota and South Dakota alike.
Well, travelers, that brings a cold, wet end to our daylight today. It's just started to shower down on us here, and it's very reminiscent of last night. The sun's going down, and it looks like we'll be driving the last couple hours through the rain. We have 2 more pages and 2 more counties, and really we're just right on track. It's just we can't keep up with the sunlight is all. There's never enough of that to go around for the day. It's been quite a day journeying eastward through the top portion of South Dakota today. It's been beautiful rolling green hills all day long, and that has made up for the total lack of geocaches out here, of which there are very few and the options are limited coming through these counties. But we're appreciative for each one we've been able to find, whether it's a pill bottle or whether it's an ammo can, because it means we can check off a box in the page, a box in the county, and call it for the county and DeLorme challenges. It's a rare opportunity to get to visit somebody's gravesite twice in 2 different locations within a day. That's pretty crazy. But it's a little bit of a history lesson, and there may be something to it too. Stay tuned with us for a few more days as we work our way south through South Dakota. Like this video, subscribe to stay tuned for daily updates, and we'll see you out on the trails.